Something is happening in our world that no one can explain. Planes vanish, people disappear in seconds, and time seems to stop, then restart. These aren't stories from books. They're real, terrifying events that shook the world, and not a single expert has answers. Get ready. What you're about to hear is beyond anything you imagined.
Number 14. Atlantis of the Sands. The Arabian Peninsula supposedly hid a lost city called Iram of the Pillars, described in ancient texts as a magnificent metropolis that vanished into the desert. For centuries, this was considered pure mythology, just another tall tale from ancient storytellers. Then archaeologists started digging in Oman and found something incredible. In 1992, they uncovered the ruins of an ancient fortress city that matched descriptions of the legendary Iram. The city was real, and its destruction was exactly as described in the stories. The fortress was built over a massive limestone cavern that eventually collapsed, swallowing the city into the earth. This explains the legend of a city that disappeared overnight. The archaeological evidence shows the city was a major trading hub that controlled the lucrative frankincense trade. The fortress walls were massive, built to protect valuable goods and trade routes. The city's wealth came from its strategic location along caravan routes, connecting the Arabian Peninsula with markets in Egypt and the Mediterranean. The discovery revealed sophisticated urban planning with water management systems, storage facilities, and defensive structures. The city's decline came when the Roman Empire reduced demand for frankincense and other luxury goods. As trade routes shifted, the city lost its economic importance. The final collapse happened when the underground cavern could no longer support the weight of the structures above. Geological surveys have confirmed the cavern's existence and the mechanism of collapse.
Number 13. The disappearance of Neanderthals. Our closest extinct relatives vanished around 40,000 years ago, right around the time modern humans started spreading across Europe. Coincidence? Probably not. Neanderthals weren't the brutish cavemen popular culture makes them out to be. These guys had bigger brains than us, used sophisticated tools, controlled fire, and even created art. DNA analysis shows they interbred with modern humans, so they weren't completely different species. Yet somehow they disappeared while we thrived. Several theories attempt to explain their extinction. Climate change during the Ice Age put pressure on their food sources. Competition with modern humans for resources might have been too intense. Some evidence suggests they had slower reproduction rates, making population recovery difficult after setbacks. Violence between species is another possibility, though direct evidence is limited. What's really interesting is that Neanderthals had unique advantages. They were physically stronger and better adapted to cold climates. Their tools were effective and their social structures were complex. Recent discoveries show they buried their dead and created symbolic objects, indicating sophisticated thinking. The extinction might have been gradual, with isolated populations surviving longer in remote areas. The last known Neanderthal sites are in Gibraltar and Spain, suggesting they retreated south as conditions became unfavorable.
I have a question for you. First, I would like to say that it is possible to follow the greatest curiosities of our world every day. But to do so, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, are you already subscribed? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Also, take the opportunity to like the video, so YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel. So leave your like right now. And now that you have done that, let's go!
Number 12. Roman concrete. Rome built structures that are still standing 2,000 years later, while modern concrete starts cracking after a few decades. Roman concrete wasn't just different, it was superior in many ways. The secret ingredient was volcanic ash from Mount Vesuvius, which created a chemical reaction that made the concrete stronger over time. While modern concrete weakens when exposed to seawater, Roman concrete actually gets stronger. The volcanic ash contains silica and alumina, which react with lime to form a durable binding agent. This process continues for centuries, making Roman structures more resilient as they age. The Romans didn't just stumble upon this formula, they engineered it through experimentation and observation. They understood that different types of volcanic ash produced different properties. For underwater construction, they used specific ash varieties that cured properly in marine environments. The concrete also had self-healing properties. Small cracks would seal themselves as rainwater activated unreacted lime particles. This explains why Roman harbors, aqueducts, and buildings have survived while modern structures require constant maintenance. Recent analysis has identified the exact proportions and mixing techniques used by Roman engineers. They created a recipe that modern science is still trying to replicate. The environmental benefits are significant too. Roman concrete production generated less carbon dioxide than modern methods. The durability means structures last longer, reducing the need for demolition and reconstruction.
Number 11. The Great Pyramids. Egypt's pyramids are engineering marvels that still challenge modern construction techniques. The Great Pyramid of Giza contains over 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 80 tons. The precision is incredible. The base is level to within just 2.1 centimeters. The orientation aligns with cardinal directions to within 3/60th of a degree. This level of accuracy requires sophisticated surveying techniques and mathematical knowledge. Construction took place over 20 years using hundreds of thousands of workers. Recent research has revealed more about their methods. Limestone blocks were quarried locally and transported via ramps and sledges. The internal chambers were built with millimeter precision, featuring corbelled ceilings that have supported massive weight for over 4,000 years. The pyramid's dimensions encode mathematical relationships, including the golden ratio and pi. Whether this was intentional or coincidental remains debated. New discoveries continue to emerge using modern technology. Cosmic ray imaging has revealed hidden chambers inside the Great Pyramid. These voids might contain treasures or provide new insights into construction techniques. The pyramid's original height was 146.5 meters, making it the world's tallest building for over 3,800 years.
Number 10. The Voynich Manuscript. Medieval scribes left behind one of history's most confusing books. The Voynich manuscript contains 240 pages of text in an unknown language, accompanied by bizarre illustrations that seem to come from another world. The book dates to the early 15th century and has resisted all attempts at translation. The writing system doesn't match any known language, ancient or modern. Computer analysis reveals the text follows linguistic patterns similar to real languages, with consistent grammar and vocabulary, but nobody can crack the code. The illustrations are equally puzzling. They show strange plants that don't exist in nature, naked women in green pools, and astronomical diagrams with unidentifiable symbols. Some pages depict pharmaceutical information with mysterious recipes and procedures. The artwork suggests the manuscript deals with botany, astronomy, biology, and medicine. Multiple theories attempt to explain the book's purpose. Some believe it's encoded Latin, protecting valuable knowledge from persecution. Others think it might be an artificial language created by a medieval scholar. The most extreme theories suggest alien origin or time travel.
Number 9. The Waters of Palmyra. Syria's ancient city of Palmyra thrived in the middle of a desert, which seems impossible until you understand their water management system. This wasn't just a small settlement. Palmyra was a major trading hub with elaborate buildings, gardens, and fountains. The secret was underground. The city's engineers created a sophisticated system of channels and reservoirs that captured and stored rainwater. They built dams across seasonal streams, creating artificial lakes that supplied the city year-round. The The system included underground aqueducts that transported water from distant sources. Recent satellite imagery has revealed the full extent of this network. Channels stretch for miles across the desert, connecting natural springs to the city center. The engineers understood hydrology and geology, identifying underground water sources and designing systems to tap them efficiently. They also created artificial oases by diverting water to strategic locations. These green spaces provided food, shade, and psychological relief from the harsh desert environment. The water management system required constant maintenance and skilled operators. The city employed professional water managers who understood the complex network. They developed techniques for measuring flow rates, managing distribution, and maintaining infrastructure. The system's sophistication rivals modern water management in arid regions.
Number 8. The honeycombed skull of Otranto. Italy's Otranto Cathedral displays a skull that looks like someone took a drill to it. This isn't random damage. The skull has 16 perfectly round holes arranged in a specific pattern. The skull belongs to one of 800 men martyred by Ottoman forces in 1480. For centuries, nobody could explain the holes. Recent research has solved the mystery, revealing a gruesome medieval practice. The holes were created by medical practitioners using a surgical tool called a trapin. They were drilling into the skull to harvest bone powder, which was believed to have healing properties. Medieval medicine considered powdered human bone a powerful remedy for various ailments. The skull's owner was already dead when the holes were made, but the practice shows how valuable human remains were in medieval medicine. The hole's precision indicates skilled practitioners who understood anatomy and surgical techniques. Each hole required careful drilling to avoid damaging the skull's structure. The procedure was likely performed by trained physicians or apothecaries who specialized in preparing medical remedies. The bone powder was mixed with other ingredients to create treatments for epilepsy, headaches, and other conditions. This practice wasn't unique to Otranto. Similar skulls have been found across Europe. The belief in bone powder's healing properties persisted for centuries, despite its obvious ineffectiveness. The skull's display in the cathedral shows how medieval communities honored martyrs while also utilizing their remains for practical purposes.
Number 7. The Indus Valley Civilization. Picture this. While Europeans were still figuring out basic farming, an entire civilization spanning over 1 million square kilometers was thriving in modern-day Pakistan and India. The Indus Valley Civilization had over 1,000 cities with sophisticated drainage systems, standardized weights and measures, and urban planning that would make modern city planners jealous. Yet, we know almost nothing about them because nobody can read their writing. These people left behind thousands of seals and tablets covered in symbols, but it's like trying to decode alien hieroglyphs. Without a Rosetta Stone equivalent, their entire written history remains locked away. The mystery gets deeper when you realize this civilization just vanished around 1900 BC. No massive battle sites, no evidence of invasion, no clear cause of decline. One theory suggests they were wiped out by a nuclear explosion. Sounds crazy, but some sites show evidence of intense heat and radiation. More conventional explanations point to climate change, drought, or gradual migration. The Indus River itself might have changed course, making agriculture impossible. Recent discoveries keep revealing more about their advanced technology. They had standardized brick sizes across hundreds of cities, suggesting centralized planning. Their drainage systems were more sophisticated than many modern cities. They even had public baths and private toilets and individual homes.
Number 6. Puquios. Peru's desert holds one of the world's most ingenious irrigation systems. The Puquios are spiral-shaped wells that use wind power to move water through underground channels. These aren't just simple wells, they're engineered structures that create airflow patterns to push water upward. The spiral design forces air down into the underground system, creating pressure that moves water through horizontal channels. This process brings groundwater to the surface in areas where it would otherwise be inaccessible. The system works entirely through natural forces,
requiring no external power source. The Nazca people built these wells over 1,000 years ago, demonstrating advanced understanding of fluid dynamics and atmospheric pressure. Each Puquio is carefully positioned to maximize wind capture and water flow. The spiral walls are built with precisely fitted stones that create smooth airflow without turbulence. The underground channels connect multiple Puquios, creating a network that can irrigate large areas. Recent studies have revealed the full complexity of this system. The channels follow specific gradients that maintain water flow without erosion. The network includes reservoirs, distribution points, and overflow channels that prevent flooding. The system's design accounts for seasonal variations in wind patterns and water availability. During dry seasons, the spiral design becomes more effective as temperature differences create stronger air currents.
Number 5. The Nazca Lines. Southern Peru hides one of the world's most confusing art projects. The Nazca Lines are massive drawings etched into the desert floor, depicting animals, plants, and geometric shapes. The twist? They're so huge you can only see them properly from the air. We're talking about designs stretching for miles across the landscape, created by people who supposedly never developed flight. The hummingbird spans 93 meters, the spider reaches 47 meters, and the monkey covers 135 meters. These weren't quick sketches either. Each design required careful planning and precise execution. The lines were created by removing dark rocks from the surface, revealing lighter sand underneath. The dry climate preserved them for over 1,000 years. Theories about their purpose range from astronomical calendars to religious ceremonies. Some researchers believe they were walking paths for spiritual rituals, while others think they were offerings to sky gods. The alignment of certain lines with celestial events suggests astronomical knowledge. Recent discoveries using satellite imagery revealed thousands of additional smaller lines and figures. Number 4. The Stones of Pumapunku. Bolivia showcases engineering that seems impossible for its time period. Pumapunku features massive stone blocks cut and fitted with precision that rivals modern construction. These aren't rough-hewn stones. They're perfectly shaped blocks with intricate interlocking systems that fit together like giant Lego pieces. The precision is mind-blowing. Cuts are straight to within fractions of inches, and surfaces are smooth as glass. The blocks feature complex notches, channels, and joints that interlock perfectly without mortar. Some stones weigh over 100 tons and were transported from quarries 10 miles away. The construction techniques required advanced knowledge of geometry and engineering. The Tiwanaku civilization built this complex around 600 AD using tools that supposedly couldn't achieve such precision. No wheeled vehicles, no iron tools, no modern machinery. Yet somehow they created stonework that modern builders would struggle to replicate. The blocks appeared to have been mass-produced using standardized measurements and templates. This suggests industrial-level organization and planning. The site shows evidence of advanced metallurgy, with copper and bronze clamps used to secure massive stones.
Number 3. The Lost City of Helike. Ancient Greece had its own version of Atlantis, and this one actually existed. Helike was a thriving city that got swallowed by the earth in a single night back in 373 BC. One day it was there, the next day it was gone. No warning, no gradual decline, just straight up vanished. The crazy thing is, people knew exactly where it used to be, but the ground had literally sunk so far down that nobody could find it for over 2,000 years. Earthquakes hit this place hard, but not your typical shake and break situation. The Helike fault line has this weird property where it doesn't just move sideways, it drops the ground straight down like a trap door. Imagine living in a city and having the entire foundation just fall into the earth. That's exactly what happened here. Ancient writers described how the city disappeared overnight, taking all its inhabitants with it.
For centuries, people thought these accounts were exaggerated or mythical. Then, in 2001, archaeologists finally located the ruins underwater and buried under tons of sediment. The discovery proved that ancient accounts weren't just storytelling, they were accurate historical records.
Number 2. The Lascaux cave paintings. Picture walking into a cave in southern France and discovering the world's first art gallery. That's exactly what happened in 1940 when 4 teenagers stumbled upon Lascaux Cave. These weren't just random scribbles on walls. These were sophisticated artworks created 17,000 years ago by artists who understood perspective, shading, and movement. The paintings show running horses, jumping deer, and massive aurochs, ancient cattle, rendered with incredible accuracy. The artists used natural cave contours to create 3D effects, making animals appear to leap off the walls. They mixed pigments from ochre, charcoal, and minerals to create a palette that has survived millennia. Some paintings were created in areas so difficult to reach that artists must have used scaffolding or ladders. The Great Hall of Bulls contains some of the most impressive prehistoric art ever discovered. One bull measures 17 feet long, requiring careful planning and execution. What's fascinating is the absence of human figures. Almost all the art focuses on animals, suggesting these creatures held special significance.
Number 1. Stonehenge. England's most famous pile of rocks continues to baffle everyone who looks at it. Stonehenge isn't just big stones arranged in a circle. It's a precisely engineered structure that required serious planning and incredible effort. The builders somehow transported massive stones from Wales, 150 miles away, without wheels or modern machinery. Some stones weigh up to 25 tons. Moving them would challenge modern construction crews with heavy equipment. The arrangement isn't random either. The stones aligned with astronomical events like solstices and eclipses, suggesting the builders had advanced knowledge of celestial mechanics. Recent discoveries have revealed Stonehenge was much more than a single monument. Ground-penetrating radar has found evidence of a vast complex with timber circles, burial mounds, and ceremonial pathways extending for miles. The site was used continuously for over 1,500 years, with different cultures adding their own modifications. Archaeological evidence shows it served as a burial ground for centuries, with cremated remains of hundreds of individuals. The famous blue stones came from a specific quarry in Wales, suggesting they held special significance. Why would anyone transport stones across the entire country unless they believed these particular rocks were magical?
Now I have a special recommendation for you. Are you seeing this video that is appearing on the screen? Click on it because I'm sure you'll like it. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.